Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And today, it just didn't warm up. We did see some clouds and a peek at the sun at times today as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our beautiful Sky-Fi Tower camera on Badger Mountain. And you can see lots of snow still down in the foothills and in the valley, but temperatures are just not warming up out there. We have been about the same for about a month or so, stuck in the 20s. And guess what? We've seen a lot of snow, as we've mentioned. In fact, NCWLIFE, you have set a record for February. Lots of folks have set records for snowfall. There you are at NCWLIFE, number 3 on the list. 27.7 inches of snow for February of this year. That breaks the old record set just a couple years ago in that snowy 2017 winter season of 20.6 inches. And I think Eric mentioned it last night. We're at 15.5 inches here in Wenatchee. We have to get to about 21 inches to break a snow record here for February. So we'll see if we pick up 6 more inches of snow over these next week or so. And we'll talk more about your weather. We do have a couple of storm systems to tell you about coming this week and towards the end of the week. And we'll do all that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Moses Lake police report a home was damaged early Sunday morning in a drive-by shooting. Someone in Mattawa is driving a Mustang around pretending to be law enforcement. And the second of 3 finalists has been announced to fill the superintendent position in the Wenatchee School District. But first, we begin tonight. A man and woman from the west side hiking on the Kolchuk Lake Trail Monday afternoon were fortunate to run into Sean Ballard of Ballard Ambulance when the woman suffered frostbite. Chelan County Sheriff spokesman Kent Sisson explains what happened.
Yesterday afternoon, I had received a text message from an inReach device, which is a satellite, Garmin satellite communication device from Sean Ballard with Ballard Ambulance, who was just up snowshoeing, recreating with his wife up in the 8 Mile Lake, Kolchuk area. And they had come across a female and a male that had camped up there Sunday night. On the actual Kolchuk Lake Trail. Well, she had taken off her boots at one point, and she's gotten very cold overnight. And in the morning, she put back on her frozen boots, basically, and that made her feet go numb to the point where she couldn't even feel her feet. So Sean and his wife had run into this couple as they were trying to come out. The boyfriend had basically had to carry her most of the way down the trail, and then Sean and his wife helped get her further down the main road, back down, toward the icicle. But in the meantime, he had used his device and contacted me. So myself and another deputy went up with snowmobiles and met them on the roadway and transported them out. We have two-place snowmobiles that we used, and got them out, and she was checked out by a Cascade ambulance, declined treatment with them, but ended up, I think, going down to Central to get her feet looked at.
Moses Lake police report a home was damaged early Sunday morning in a drive-by shooting. The home, located on South Blessing Street, was hit 4 times with a shotgun. Police say there were 2 people in the residence at the time of the shooting, but were uninjured after hiding in a closet after hearing those gunshots. The home's garage door, front door, and front kitchen window were damaged in the gunfire. Police officers found several shell casings outside that residence. Moses Lake detectives are following up on persons of interest in that drive-by and say the incident may be related to a disturbance earlier in the night, outside a Moses Lake bar. Well, after receiving reports of someone driving a Mustang with police-style lights trying to pull over vehicles, Mattawa Police Chief Joe Harris posted a picture of the vehicle last week on Facebook. It didn't take long for the owner of the car to come forward.
20 minutes after our Facebook post went out, the owner of the vehicle and 3 or 4 young, I want to say kids, I think a couple of them are his kids, I think. Anyway, they came in to ask why I was taking pictures of their car, and so we had a little chat. And I think I think it's just a young kid being a jackass, to be honest with you. I don't think that there was anything there where they were trying to, like pull people over and rob them or anything like that. I don't think that was the intent. I think it was a young kid, teenager, got a hold of some of these lights, because you can buy these lights anywhere, and thought, hey, this would be really cool to put them in my car and drive around and turn them on and scare people. I think that's kind of where it came from.
Sean Woodward, the superintendent of the Lake Pend Oreille School District in Sandpoint, Idaho since 2012, was announced today as the second of 3 finalists for the Wenatchee School District superintendent job. Prior to his current job, Woodward was an assistant superintendent of the North Kitsap School District. The public will have a chance to meet Woodward on Wednesday. Today, the public and board are meeting with the first finalist announced, Michael Musick, the interim superintendent of the Lake Oswego School District in Oregon. On Wednesday, the board will announce the third and final candidate, then hold meetings for that candidate Thursday. The meetings all follow the same schedule, with public forums at the Wenatchee High School Commons from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. The board will then meet with the candidates each evening from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Spring Hill Suites conference room. The person hired will replace Brian Flonis, who announced his retirement last year. Flonis has worked in the Wenatchee School District for more than 30 years, the last 19 as superintendent. Coming up next, the inmate work release program at the Chelan County Jail is expected to resume in the spring. Another try at the annual Polar Plunge is planned for this Saturday. And as snow is accumulated in the mountains surrounding Wenatchee, avalanches have become a concern. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome back. In another news, the inmate work release program at the Chelan County Jail is expected to resume in the spring. The program was discontinued last fall due to the closure of the jail annex building during construction work to make the facility more secure. Chelan County Commissioner Kevin Overbay.
So we're hoping to be able to have, the annex will be completed with its remodel piece around June time, but we're hoping to be able to have those folks that are going to be able to do the inmate worker program available probably within the next month and a half or so. It'll just depend on the population pieces and the folks that we have come into that, but be able to house them in the secure worker facility, outside of the main, and be able to have that program back up and running. And so we'll get a little bit more accurate information from Bill this afternoon. And so we just kind of continue to move forward with that piece.
The Chelan County Regional Justice Center is a 383-bed correctional facility that was originally built to hold half that number. Meanwhile, the union that represents the jail staff had complained about unsafe working conditions and pushed for more security upgrades, which will also include restructuring jail management. Commissioner Overbay says a promotional ceremony is planned for Friday, where new jail commanders will be appointed. Well, it may seem odd to have a polar plunge canceled because of bad weather, but that's what happened back on February 9th when a big snowstorm hit on the scheduled date. But they'll try again this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Walla Walla Point Park in Wenatchee. The event benefits Special Olympics Washington, and dozens are expected to plunge into the icy water with sub-freezing temperatures and snow in the forecast. Well, speaking of snow, as it's accumulated in the mountains surrounding Wenatchee, avalanches have become a concern, according to the Northwest Avalanche Center. Tony Hickok, marketing manager for Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort, told NCWLIFE News that operators and users of the ski resort need to be mindful of the risks while enjoying the bounty of snow.
Yeah, with all this recent snow, there's a couple of things people definitely need to be aware of. The avalanche conditions are elevated as far as the risk for sure. So if you are out in the backcountry around the Wenatchee Valley, definitely make sure that you know what's going on to stay safe. As far as here in bounds, we just always recommend, and everyone should always be riding and skiing with a partner, keeping folks in sight and avoiding tree wells. But generally, this new snow just makes for amazing groom runs and some awesome off-piste powder turns as well.
Over 50 inches of new snow has fallen at Mission Ridge so far this month. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at azchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, we continue our conversation with CASA volunteer Gretchen Milnes as part of the NCW magazine. Tonight, Milnes explains what court-appointed special advocates do inside and outside of the courtroom.
So anything that we feel is in the best interest of these children. So it's in regards to the actual legal case, but it's also in regards to, do we suspect that maybe this child has some learning disabilities? So we would advocate for, and we're very much usually in tandem with the department, with DCYF in our recommendations quite often. I mean, we're just recommending very much the same thing as they are. We suspect that these children need counseling, or they need maybe help with schooling in some way, like there's some specific thing that maybe would be in their best interest, but sometimes not. Sometimes we see some things maybe because, I don't know, we're in the home, or maybe, I don't know, but sometimes we might see something just a slight bit different than maybe the rest of the outer team, and so then we advocate on behalf of that child. many, some people would say most, but many of our cases are secondary to substance abuse. So either drugs, alcohol, both, poly. We see a lot of neglect, abuse, but neglect secondary to substance abuse. We have babies that never leave the hospital, that go right from the hospital into foster care, and then right up until 18, 21. So 18 is usually where a child ages out, but if there are extenuating circumstances such as developmental disabilities or anything like that, the child can go to 21.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get into all those details, let's, as we always do, take a peek outside our weather window and a beautiful shot of the Wenatchee Valley from our Badger Mountain Sky-Fi Tower camera. And you can see lots of snow in the foreground as well as in the mountains behind the valley in the Wenatchee area. Still more snow to come. As I mentioned at the outset of the news, we have two storms that we're keeping our eye on. One will come tomorrow and the other will come on Friday. Not a lot of snow for us here in North Central Washington. Most of that moderate and heavy snow will be over in the Spokane area, maybe down in the Palouse and over into the panhandle of Idaho, but we should pick up at least a little bit of new snow. We'll get to that in a second. Today's high temperature still well below where we're supposed to be for this time of year. 43 is our normal high temperature, only 25 this afternoon unofficially. 16 are low temperatures we kicked off the day. That too well below where we should be. Our record 58 degrees set back in 1965, and our record low was 10 in 1986. So far, the past 24 hours anyway, no new precipitation. We're staying at 1.56 inches of precip since January 1st, and our snowfall, at least through the month of February, that's not to date, it is for February, is 15.5 inches. Sunrise this morning was at 6:59, and the sunset this afternoon, or will set at 5:31. Let's take a look now outside and take a look at our weather loop as we get into tonight at 10 o'clock. We can expect cloudy skies, a 40% chance of snow, and an inch or snow of accumulation is possible. Most of the heavier stuff will move, as I mentioned, to our east. Areas around Spokane could see about 3 to 5 inches of snow overnight into Wednesday. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Once again, a chance for just a lingering snow flurry as most of this activity moves off to our southeast. We have a gigantic area of high pressure as well just off the coast. That's keeping most of our precipitation away from us, and it's funneling most of it into eastern Washington. Thursday, our nicest day, mostly sunny. It will remain cool with temperatures in the lower 30s, and then by Friday at 1 o'clock, mostly cloudy once again. By the end of the week, a 30% chance of snow as this area of low pressure slides down the coast of British Columbia, and then by 10 o'clock on Friday, that chance of snow goes up to 60% here in the Wenatchee area, but still not a lot of accumulation. We're thinking about an inch or so possible. Not much to this storm system. It will continue to slowly move into Washington State on Saturday. That will once again bring us about a 40% chance for snow. Not a lot of accumulation out of that, with temperatures mainly in the lower 30s, melting a lot of that. By Sunday at 1 o'clock, more of the same, about a 40% chance of just lingering scattered snow showers around. Most of the heavier snow will be in the Intermountain West and over into western Montana. So really not a bad forecast. We could see at most maybe about 2 more inches of snow as we move into Saturday morning. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight, 22 degrees for our overnight low, 32 on Wednesday. Once again, we will see about a 30% chance of snow. Most of our snow will come overnight into Wednesday. Still not a lot of accumulation out of that. Sunny and cool for our day off on Thursday. We'll see a high temperature of 33 degrees. That goes up to a 60% chance for snow on Friday night with cloudy skies, 30 our daytime high. And then for our upcoming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, carbon copies of each other. Mostly cloudy both days, 32 degrees our high temperature both days, with about a 40% chance of just scattered snow showers. And then Monday, as we kick off our next work week, mostly cloudy skies, isolated flurries, and we're just not going to warm up much. High temperature on Monday still only in the upper 20s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Everything we do is about delivering very high quality care and keeping our patients safe.
We really work as a team here, and so that's really what makes it worthwhile.
I give 100% every day, and I do that because I work for a company that I believe gives 100% back to me.
The bottom line is we genuinely care about our employees.
It is the most incredible place to work, and you will be inspired every day.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. We finally know the matchup game times and locations for regional basketball coming up this weekend. The Wenatchee boys, a 12 seed, will face a 13th seeded Mount Rainier team Saturday at Ellensburg High School. That'll be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Winner will advance to take on the loser of Richland and Mount Si in the first round of the State 4A tournament in the Tacoma Dome the following Wednesday at 12:15. The loser's season is done. Turning to the 1A boys tournament, the number 6 seed Cashmere Bulldogs face the 3rd seed Zilla Leopards Saturday at 6 o'clock at Davis High School. Both teams will advance to state, with the winner getting a first-round bye at state until Thursday. The loser will have to play the winner of Cascade Christian and Royal Wednesday in the Sundome at 3:45. Again, that's all next week. On the girls' side of the 1A tournament this weekend, both Cashmere and Etiat will play at Wenatchee High School Friday night. First game at 6 o'clock features the number 4 seed Bulldogs against the number 5 seeded Elma Eagles. The winner gets a first-round bye at state, with the loser facing the winner of Kingsway Christian and Medical Lake. That'll be Wednesday in the Sundome at 2 o'clock. The 8 p.m. game Friday night at Wenatchee High School features the number 11 seed Etiat girls against the number 14 seed Inchelium. The winner advances to State B in Spokane and plays against the loser of Friday's game between Sunnyside Christian and Elmira Cooley Heartline. That would be next Wednesday at 9 a.m. at Veterans Memorial Arena. Here's what we're doing on the NCWLIFE channel. We're trying to work out a deal with the NFHS and the WIAA to bring you both those games Friday at Wenatchee High School, Cashmere girls and Etiat girls. Stay tuned. We'll hopefully have an answer for you coming up tomorrow morning. It's a little expensive to do it straight, so we're trying to do a little horse trading here. The Brewster boys and girls will both play at Eastmont High School in the regional Saturday. The Barrett boys will play at first at 6 o'clock against Tootle Lake in a seeding game for the State 2B tournament. Winner gets a first-round bye, while the loser will face the winner of Kalama and Friday Harbor. The Brewster girls will follow at 8 o'clock against Mabton in a loser-out game. The winner will have a first-round bye or a date with Rainier and Wahkiakum in Spokane. With the winter sports season winding down, the Columbia Basin Big Nine is out with their all-league basketball selections. First team honors on the boys' side goes to Wenatchee's Garrett Long and Eastmont's Isaac Wellborn. Second teamers for the Panthers are Nate Blauman and Darius Carlson. Eastmont teammates Oscar Calvillo and Trey Haberlock are honorable mentions on the boys' side. Big Nine also names an all-defensive squad. The all-defense team includes Wenatchee's Chase Lloydhammer and Nate Blauman, along with Eastmont's Tanner Nelson. Defensive honorable mentions go out to Wenatchee's J.J. Jelsing and Eastmont's Oscar Calvillo and Isaac Wellborn. Turning to the Big Nine girls selections, Congratulations to Wenatchee's Cammie Worley on her first team selection. Eastmont's Caitlin Cox was a second team pick, and Jaden Brown was an honorable mention. Quietly, with very few familiar names, the Seattle Mariners have begun training camp at Peoria, Arizona. When you have guys in camp like Kyle Lewis, Evan White, Shed Long, and Justin Dunn battling for positions and nobody knows who they are, it makes it a little easy to be quiet.
Same pose, but just a couple other here we go.
Oh, yeah. You got to bring the bat around. There you go. Got to see that. Yes. That's good. Very nice. Very nice.
Cool. Did you see my wink? You got it, the wink.
And then give yourself a little distance over here. Like that. That's exactly what we're going to do, too. Hey, you're stealing my shot, man. And same sort of thing. So you have to step this way.
I'm Young Hanseo. This is Marco Gonzalez from the Seattle Mariners, wishing you the best at the very first MLB Cup in Korea. Do your best and make sure to have some fun.
Of course, there are a few holdover Mariner fans will recognize, like veterans Mitch Haniger, Kyle Seager, and their Marco Gonzalez. All were hamming it up for cameras on Picture Day yesterday in Peoria. It's the first time many of these players have worn an official Mariners uniform. As the team prepares for its Cactus League game opener Thursday against Oakland, the oldest Mariner continues his planned comeback. Manager Scott Service could not be happier to have Ichiro. Yeah, that's right, Ichiro is trying to make the squad. Also back to trying to earn a roster spot after spending the last 2 seasons in AAA with the Angels is Dustin Ackley. So far, the Mariners have him working out with the outfielders. Opening day just 37 days away. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And recapping tonight's top story, Moses Lake police report a home was damaged early Sunday morning in a drive-by shooting. The home, located on South Blessing Street, was hit 4 times with a shotgun. Police say there were 2 people in the residence at the time of the shooting, but they were uninjured after hiding in a closet after hearing gunshots. The home's garage door, front door, and front kitchen window were damaged in the gunfire. Police officers found several shell casings outside the home. Moses Lake detectives are following up on persons of interest in that drive-by and say the incident may be related to a disturbance earlier in the night outside a Moses Lake bar. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCWLIFE channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frapitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Yes, we are live from Studio 2. And I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. Expert is mine. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Your Dog to Work Day, Beautician's Day. It's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.